Hi, I'm Sean,
Hi, and I'm Shannon.
and we're the host of Wifey and Baby Mama. Happy Thursday, family. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes,
Let's do
welcome.
another week with your favorite two hosts. And I'm elated to add to the excitement by announcing we have our first male guest of season
Uh,
3.
Yes,
Yes.
I gotta give it up for the host.
My
Yes.
longtime friend, yes, brother, ex-sergeant, and my homie, James Harris, will be joining us tonight. We go way back, like both flats. Uh, James was married for over 20 years and has been divorced for about 10 or more. Um, and if my memory serves correctly, that's right. We met when we both worked for a prison governed by Homeland Security, and he was my right hand man. You know, if I needed help, it was
Mm,
one call and he was there. And you don't meet too many people of the opposite sex that as close as we are, with no intimacy or drama, ever being
right,
involved. So
right.
I'm honored to have him drop some wisdom on our topic tonight, titled I Don't Want to Hold Your Bag. Because my brother can tell you a thing or two about relationships and saying goodbye. And I love that he keeps it 100. So, Harris, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about you before we get started tonight?
My name is James Harris. I'm from Eufaula, Alabama. Three kids, two with masters, one RN,
All
and I'm God
right.
fearing.
That's all right.
He-
Gotta give it up for that. That's something to
Mhm.
cheer about right there. Oh my gosh. Give it up for
And
your
he is
kids.
That's right. And he is God fearing, which is why he raised such good kids, which of course are my nieces and nephews. If he's my brother, that's automatic, right? So
Mhm.
he's my brother in Christ and in life. So welcome to the show, Shannon. We're about to get real, girl, right along with the audience. We
Yeah.
about to get it.
Yes.
So if you want to know, girl, ask, because this one has no shame, okay? This is my real world version of act like a lady, think like a man here. When I want some real advice on relationships, he keeps it solid, whether it's gonna hurt
And
my feelings or not. So that's why I
yeah,
love him. So y'all get ready for a ride now.
that's what you want. That's what you want.
That's what you want. So, all right, James, since you are our guest tonight, I'm coming at you first. Tell me, have you ever experienced a relationship where you had to leave a person you was really feeling, and thought like this could be the one? Have you ever had to call it quits because they were hung up on an ex or concerned with what family thought, and you decided, you know what, this is too heavy for me to carry? Now, don't go calling names. I don't want nobody waiting outside your house after the show over, but I'm just interested in knowing if that's ever happened, and something has made you finally say, you know what, goodbye.
Yes, definitely. Last relationship, young lady, she said she was into the church, and you tell on yourself. Certain things, you hang out together, and it comes out.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
she said some things that I know was ungodly. So hey, it was time to move on.
Now,
Can
so
you
so
go
let
to
me
any
ask. I'm sorry.
specifics? I want to
I
hear
was
some
just about to say,
specifics.
Shannon, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear some specifics. What
Okay,
do you mean?
okay, like just say sin for instance, doing things that you're not married and you doing, and then my me being the leader, I'm asking for repentance and asking God, to strengthen me in those areas. And she's like, you don't have to ask for repentance. And hey, I know that's not right.
Oh,
Oh, that's true now.
okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me ask you, before you called it goodbye, did you say, hey, no, I think if I'm gonna be leader, this the way we're going, then I think this, was she totally against it, or did you give her a chance?
Yeah, I gave her a chance because I thought she would have been the one I would have married this past June because we prayed
Oh,
together every
wow.
night. Even if we wasn't in this, because she lived, I say, about an hour away, so I would call her every night and I would pray before we go to bed.
Okay.
Wow.
And you don't
And
find that
so
anymore,
when
Shannon.
I know, so when you I'm so intrigued.
I'm stumped.
So when you yeah, so when you brought up, your concerns, what was her response? Was it, hey, we're good, or
Oh
I'll
yeah,
get better, or I'm gonna try, I'm pray more. What what was it? How did she come back at you?
she really was like, you might be a little farther than I am, and I'm trying to get where you are,
Oh,
that type thing. But my thing is, okay, if I'm somewhere that you're not, I need to bring you to my level. But don't act like you know
right.
what you know and you don't know. Because people will test you just to see.
Yeah, yeah.
That is true, but
Wow.
may I ask, and not like it's not religion is important. That is the most important thing. I mean, having God lead Shannon and I, we preach and we teach that, and we hope that we drill that here at Wife and Baby Mama. You always want to go the right way. So was that the only thing? And I know that is a big thing, but was that the only thing that like it wasn't something that you felt like you guys could have worked on? Look, Shannon, I'm always trying to fix something, ain't
I
it? It
know.
wasn't
I know.
something you guys could have worked on because it seems like if she was an hour away and you was giving it that much time, it was someone you were going to get married. It seems like something you really could have just held out on. Was that the only thing I'm asking, or was
Oh
there other
yeah,
little things where you felt like that's just I just can't do it?
no, that was the only thing, because be yourself. Don't try to impress me. Be you.
Shannon, don't we preach that here too?
But yeah, we do. But it sounds like she was being her, though. It sounds like she was being her, by her actions. Obviously, she was being her. And it doesn't sound like she was willing to do anything different from based on this, short little question and answer thing that we've done right now. So going forward, if you met someone like that, tomorrow, that was sitting and gave you those same answers, you know, what could you do differently? Because I'm thinking, I look at me and Sean. I'm sorry. I'll back up. I take a step back. I look at Sean and I. We haven't done everything right. We're on here. We're on this podcast.
Right.
Trying to tell people all these
That we
things,
haven't
and
done
they're
anything right.
we ain't done nothing right. And they're looking at us like, "Who are you?" But when I hear what you just said about her, it's like okay, and it wasn't like she was well, maybe she was she pressing you for stuff that you didn't want to do? I guess I just need a little more intel. What was
Well,
she
okay,
trying to go further? And if she was and you were pushing back, and so if the next girl does the same, I don't know.
okay. Well, my thing is like, and I know most women won't believe this, but I was like, I'm okay with not, not sleeping together until we marry. I
Right.
was good with that because I done changed from what I used to be. Now, the old me,
Hmm.
she wouldn't have stood a chance.
But I
Okay.
guess what I'm hearing, Shannon, is he's worked hard. And I have a little unfair advantage than you. I'm sorry because I have known him so long. He's worked
Yeah,
hard to become
yeah,
the man he is. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
when I get to this man, I don't want to go to a woman that's going to pull me back to that way, and then we never get to marriage, or we go into it the wrong way. Am I understanding that right, James?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
So
Okay.
Okay, so what about a situation where, you had baggage, like no baggage in between you guys personally, but maybe an ex kept coming up or the family kept
Mm.
getting in the way. Have you ever had any situations like that? Because I have a scenario with my ex-husband, but I want to hear it from a man's point of view because in my case, it was my fault. So I want to tell my story, but in your case, was it
Mhm.
ever an ex hang up between you and someone that made you say goodbye?
Yes, just like I say, me talking to women, and like I tell them, my kids gonna come first,
Okay.
and like I tell them, my ex, she's a good lady, and if I can help her, I would help her, but I would run it by you because I'm in a relationship with you. But I never want to see my kids' mother struggle, and that's not gonna happen
That's
if I can help that.
Oh
okay.
man. Oh man.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with
yeah,
that. And I
yeah.
think you putting that up front, Shannon, saves a whole lot of trouble in the end. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And we
for
talked about
sure,
this, Harris,
for
in the
sure.
first couple of seasons. Who you are the people we talked about in the first couple of seasons. Get it out of the
Mhm.
way up front. Let me know what I'm dealing with. Let me be able to say,
Right.
well, if you're gonna be that close, if you feel like you got to help your baby mama whenever you have to, or your ex-wife, I can't deal with that. Or let me be mature enough to say, I think that's fine. But like you said, just run it by me. and it's all good. So I think it works either way. And some people tell you straight up, "Oh, I'm not dealing with that." And to me, that's selfish because Shannon and I always said, no matter how old the children are, you will always be their parents. You
That's
know what
right.
I'm saying?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are reasonable expectations now. So
Absolutely.
if the mother of your child wanted you to come over every Saturday and, you know, I don't
Cook
know,
for her.
clean her gutters or cut her grass, that type of thing. You know, the woman in your life might say, "Wait a minute, why do you have to personally go do this? Why do you have to go see
Every
her?
Saturday.
Ain't got nothing to do with the kids. You going over there cut the
Absolutely.
grass, you're going over there clean the gutters or whatever. Ain't got nothing to do with the kids." Have you ever been in situations like that?
Mm.
Because I could see why that would raise some type of, you're like, okay, well, I would just want to make sure my kids got a nice place to stay or whatever. I don't know. Have
No,
there ever
that's
been
that
situations?
that would be
Okay.
disrespectful, to the person that
Okay.
I'm, involved with. I would never do that.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
see, he
Yeah.
has a sense of understanding. And that's what we
Right.
need people to know.
Right.
It has to be a line, like you said, Shannon. If it's to do with the
Yeah.
kids, if you have to go over every Saturday to pick your kids up to take them to the doctors or a basketball practice, totally
Right.
different. But if you're doing
Yeah.
anything to benefit that woman, it's a total disrespect. And I'm happy that you
Mhm.
as a man understand that. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
I know the pain of holding people's bag firsthand, and that's what happened with my second husband and I. Harris was a friend to both of us. He was like a brother to us both. And I'm gonna give it to you straight. Most women like to play victim and accuse men of being the cause of
Oh,
divorce,
yeah.
separation.
Yeah.
But with my second husband, it was all me and my hang up with my ex, that finally caused us to have to say goodbye. He was a man in every sense of the word. He paid the bills, he took care of the house inside and out. He cooked, cleaned, Shannon bought my food to the bed, came and got my plate when I was done, okay? All I had to
Wow.
do was wake up and breathe and take care of the kids.
Mm,
Now, of course, I worked because I don't care how good of a man you are. We supposed to be helpmates. And I don't know
mhm.
if it's right or wrong, but it's not one day of the week you'll catch me not having my own money. And I believe in love and the power of it. But people can
Mhm.
change on you, and
Mhm.
sometimes without warning. And not having a way to feed me and mine will never happen. So, personally, I think it's dangerous to be completely kept. But I think it's beautiful when a man, heads up the home because
Mhm.
that's what he should do. But to each
Mhm.
his own. But anyways, he just decided one day that he didn't want to hold my bag when it came to my bun I still had with Jimmy, and it caused constant turmoil,
Mhm.
in our lives, and eventually it just caused him to leave. Now God knows it was my ever intent to make that marriage work. And sometimes though the heart just, it wants what it wants, right? And
Right.
I don't know if
Right.
it's always the right thing, but in my case, my physical body did end up where my heart was eventually. And
Mhm.
thankfully, my ex husband and I are the best of friends now because after some time passed, he too understood everything between us was
Yeah.
fine. I
Yeah.
was just in
Yeah.
love with another man, and that's something
Right.
any real man, no real man wants to compete with, nor should they have
No.
to. Every person deserves to be loved wholly, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Totally agree.
And what do you
So,
think, Harris? Would you have stayed around in that situation? Or,
No,
or would you have done the same thing? You said nope.
no, because my, because my thing, you only get one chance to cheat on me, and you're done. Then I don't do second chances.
Oh, but let me back up. I didn't
oh.
cheat. My ex-husband was in a whole different state. We were nowhere near each other. It's just I was still in love with him. But I
No,
mean,
no,
and
I
he
wasn't saying that. I'm just saying me myself. It's just one and done. I didn't say that you cheated, but I'm just saying that I understand what you're saying. You didn't love. Yeah, I agree to that. But I'm just saying myself. If a woman cheat on me, it's nothing to talk about.
okay,
Ooh,
but what if
that's a touchy one. We might need a whole nother episode on that because
we have one.
you
We
see.
have one, so don't go too deep, Shan. We have one.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll let you.
It's coming up at the end of the season. Hold that.
Yeah,
Hold your
cause
horses.
okay,
Harris,
okay, okay.
James, would you come back and run that one with us?
Definitely.
Uh, no,
Yeah,
Shannon got questions.
yeah, yeah,
I feel like if she go
yeah.
too deep tonight, we might step off. So hold that. We look, Shannon. We can bait him to come back. So hold that. We gonna get it
Right,
all tonight.
right.
But I totally
Yeah.
get what she said. I have questions. I get what you're saying. But
Mhm.
It's so much more to that. I hate that you said it because now I got questions.
I know.
It's so much more to that, but look, we'll slide on past that, okay? So let's talk about something on the flip side of what I just said. Or Shannon, do you know anyone who actually had to say goodbye because they don't want to hold the other person's bag? Have you ever experienced that with any of your friends or in relationships?
Oh yeah,
I
for
just like to get
sure,
all
for sure.
sides of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And holding other people's bags, that could mean so many things, you know. It could go from, you're getting with someone that has children already and you don't want to be with anyone with children, and I think we have a segment coming up about that. And you also have people where there are so many outside influences where their mother. I remember a really close friend of mine. She dated a guy and he was a mother's boy, a mama's boy, or whatever you want to call him, mama's boy, or whatever. And
Hmm.
his mother ruled his life so much that they didn't live together at all. He had his own house and all of that, but everything that he did in his household was governed around what his mother said. So his mother said, "Don't allow anybody to come in this house with shoes on. Make them put on these little booties that you put," and that's fine if that's what people do, but it was all his mother's rules. His mother's rules ran his house even though his mother didn't live there. So things like that, and all these outside influences can sometimes turn people off, and you're like, oh my gosh, am I living with you, or am I living with your mother, or your mother's you're the mother of your children, because a lot of people too, it's like, oh, I can't do this because my child's mother doesn't allow me to do this at her house, so I can't do this at my house. And yeah, so holding people's bags, it
It
can be
gets
heavy
heavy.
sometimes.
It gets now. Here's I know that you are really close with your mom. We talk all the time. You saw I'm at my mom's, and my mom cooked because you're a single man. So you go by and grab your plate when mama cook. He said he had some neck bones and rice the other night. Lord, I almost went through
Ooh,
the phone. I'm
yes.
telling you, I miss the country, honey.
I'm
They don't
coming to
country like they do in Buffalo.
Alabama.
So what I'm saying is though, here is as close as you are with your mom, would you allow her to overstep like that in your marriage?
No, I would like if I was going through something, I would definitely want her opinion,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm gonna just follow my heart and I'm gonna pray and get my answer from God.
And that's what you should do. And
Yes,
that's
yeah, that
absolutely
is
what you
it.
should be doing. Now, in my case,
Mhm.
what I was going to tell you, Shannon, before I asked you was a flip side of how my holding my bag with Jimmy, it ran my ex-husband off, right? Now, I only to come back with him and I almost ended this relationship for that reason with my husband now. His mom, he's this baby of 8, and I would think I would say he's the youngest.
Mm.
And his mom is really
Mhm.
close to him, and he's gone away for all those years, but it was like a straight up family meeting when we got married because she was straight up like, I don't want you to marry her again. And I was like, wait a minute, what is going on right now?
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, okay, I'm waiting because he's like, well, we have to go to this meeting. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? And so it's always that they
Mm.
were so close knit. It's like, no, like we move in
Mhm.
this unit or whatever the case may be. So I'm waiting, fully waiting for him to get over here and be like, well, this is what we're going to have to do because my family said this. And I'm like, okay, bro, here go your ring. We'll see you. It was nice knowing you. Okay. But he held his ground, Shannon, 10 toes
Mhm.
down. And when the whole meeting
Yeah.
was over, they said, well, I just really don't agree with this. I don't know if I'll be at the wedding. And my husband told
Mm.
everybody in the room, it's going to be a wedding Saturday, February 15th, 2020. We would love for you guys to be there, but if not, as long as the preacher show up, it's happening. And after that, I
Right.
think I was safe in saying I didn't have to
Mhm.
worry about that. Even
Mhm.
though that's how that family had been ran the whole time, he put his foot down
Right.
because he made it clear, God, my wife. And again, it
Yeah.
hasn't been all peaches and cream, but our marriage and our family has ran a little more smoothly because as a man, he took that stance. Now, Harris,
Mhm.
if he went the other way with that, this would be a mess right now.
Definitely.
And it's still times when I could see that he struggles because when you did the same thing for so long, fellas or ladies,
Yeah.
it's hard to unbreak bad habits or habits at all.
Mhm.
But let me tell you something,
Mhm.
it must be done in order to run a successful relationship and marriage. You can't hold on anybody else's bag. It has to be you two and God, and everything else has to fall in between or beneath,
Right.
should I say, not between.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're talking about, yeah, and we brought up our parents or mothers or whatever, but there's sometimes where it's the children too.
That's
Um
next week
s-
where the love lies.
so
That's
where
our
the
episode
yeah,
next Thursday.
if the yeah, you're carrying the children's bag too. So if the
Hmm.
children don't want you doing this or whatever, or if they're interfering, um, what do you do there? So has
Mhm.
anyone had that type of experience? I haven't.
Well, I
I only
So
have.
got the one child. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's hear it, James. What
well,
have you had with that?
well, I was dating a lady, and we had moved in together, and her son was like always in trouble at school, and we would have
mhm.
to leave work to go get him, and I just got fed up
Oh
with it. And
wow.
then when I tried to discipline him, she would get mad with me, and I was like, "Hey, I just can't do this anymore." And the child was the reason that
Mm,
we're not together.
mm,
Wow. I don't want to
yeah.
hold your bag. It happens,
Right.
like Shannon said. It's not
Right.
always parents or friends or outside. Sometimes it's the
Mhm.
very own kids. And hey, I get it. I get
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
We have a guest coming on next week to talk about the way her husband and child bump head. So that'll be a whole nother subject, guys. So make sure you tune in
Right.
next week, and Harris, you make sure you come back and see how she handled it.
Oh,
So
definitely.
yeah, because just tune in next week to make you see. But on the subject of holding bags, I think that's all I had to offer, and I think it's unique that I have 2 points. It came from where I was
Mhm.
holding the bag, and then the bag was being held against me. So it's like it's crazy, right? But it all comes down to making sure you make the right choice in the end. So do you
Right.
two have any more to add to this title?
No, I
No.
don't.
All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up right here because we could go all night now, but we're on a schedule and we want James to come back. So we gotta hold the other questions and we'll move on to our next segment. But you all will hear from my brother again because there's so much more wisdom and relationship advice in him. And I think he's like us, Shannon. When you did it wrong so much, you almost become an
Yeah.
expert at doing it right, because you bumped your head so many times. Now you know what not. You could give a class on what not to do, right?
That
But
definitely.
another week, another week, another time. Tonight, we hope that Shannon and I have asked the right questions to make it clear while holding someone else's bag. We'll have you saying goodbye, even though you gave it your best try. Okay? Now you're about to experience an artist invite. But before we do, let me just drop something on you, ladies. James is very single. You hear he's God fearing. You in the Eufaula surrounding areas, maybe long distance. I don't know how far he's willing to go. But if you're looking for a good Southern old school man, we got the hookup right here on Wife and Baby Mama. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying. All right.
All right. Audience invite. Here we go.
Our audience invite song title for last week was Worthless by artist Eli with a period at the end. I don't know if you got to put that in, but when you're searching it up, Eli, period. And our topic was last name blues. I thought this song really portrayed how last name differences can sometimes make us feel less than and question who are we supposed to be, especially when we're young or before we come into our own identity. And also, quickly, I want to give the same disclaimer the site does when you pull up the song. Um, it has some lines that are deep and refer to days you may want to harm yourself because the loneliness and heaviness of certain situations make you feel like you just don't want to go on. And it goes to say that self harm is never the answer. And here at Wifey and Baby Mama, we second that hands down. Love can cure anything. Love covers a multitude. And on this show, we give it up. And we hope you feel the genuine love we have for you all. Now, if you're feeling this song or any tunes we dropped this season, this is your official invite to hit us up. Yes, you're invited to email us at wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. That's wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. And if you have any, shout outs or requests for our brother, hit us up on Wife and Baby Mama. We'll get the message passed for you. Okay, Shannon, on to you.
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
here doing
all
love
right.
connections.
Yes. Love connections. That's what we're about to. Hey,
Good godly
we're all
love
for it.
connection. All for
Yes, all for it. All for it. And now we're of course in 27 countries, and I won't even keep naming them all, but we keep growing every week. So I'm so thankful for the Argentina. We picked up Argentina last week. I'm like, hey, okay. So
Wow.
all the new countries that we pick up every week, I am
Welcome.
so grateful. Welcome. For those who are listening around the world, it means so much to us that you can identify with whatever we're saying. I don't know. Maybe it's just fascinating, or you're curious about, two women that, have a common denominator between them. I don't know what it is, but we love it. And
And we
Sean and I
thank you.
love each other. Yeah, and we love each other, and we're so grateful for those around the world, and for our guests too. Thank you so much, James. I know Sean calls you Harris, so if you want me to call you Harris, I'll call you Harris too. But
That's
I
fine.
am we're so grateful that you're here. So now on to the fictional family I am feeling tonight. And the fictional family I'm feeling comes from the movie Acrimony. So I'm feeling the Gales. And I know this wasn't a well received movie. So many people gave Tyler Perry so much crap on this one, but I have to pull it up because it starred Taraji P Henson, which of course is one of my favorite. She or is my favorite actress, and Larique Bent. And in this movie, they met in college, and they started out young, and her and her guy, Taraji, and her man, and uh his name was Robert in the movie, and she was Melinda. And when they started out, yes, they were young, so he cheated on her in college, and her sisters never let that go, even though they went on to be married for 18 years. And he was trying to, get this invention off the ground. So she sacrificed. Melinda sacrificed and did everything for him to get this invention off the ground. But her sisters were always in her ear, always. And a lot of us have that when we
Hmm.
talk about people, hearing someone's, holding someone's bag, and someone trying to bring you down or whatever. So June and Brenda, especially Brenda, oh my God, they were in her ear telling her all these things. And then they told her, oh, yeah, he cheated on you again, which he had not done. So the particular scene I'm going to focus on is the one where um, he comes home after missing a crucial appointment with one of her sisters because he was working for the sister, and he missed an appointment because finally his whole invention thing was about to take off. But Melinda, because she'd heard from her sisters all this, he's cheating, she says to him, I've been supporting you all this time, you know um you've never done anything for me, so it's time for you to go. I'm not wasting any more time with you. And he's pretty much begging her. He's like, this is it. I was offered $800,000 for this invention, but it's not enough. And she's like, well, if 800 is a lot, because you caused me to lose my mother's home, because she had put a second mortgage on her mother's home and lost it because of his whole trying to get the invention. Her sisters are sitting right there, talking trash, how families do. And they're trying to get her to, just walk away. And of course she does. He leaves, he walks away. But then that $800,000 ends up, if you watch the movie, it turns into, like, I don't know, 75 million or something like that, or 300 million. And he gives her 100 and, or how
No,
much?
$10 million. He
Oh,
gives her
10
ten
million. I'm sorry.
million
10
dollars.
million. Yes, he
And
gives
she
her
had only
10
spent
million.
about $1 million on her.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
I'm
And
sorry, he
so
had spent
he,
about $1 million on him. She had spent about $1 million on him. So he ten
right.
times her. He 10 times her when he got the money
Yes,
back.
yes.
Hmm.
And got her mother's house back, you know?
Yep.
And then but she wants to go to court and sue him because she figures, yeah, because she got her sisters in her ear. You get more, you get more. He owes you more than this or whatever. When she could have had it all if she would have just stuck by him and not let the outside influences, so those outside people holding those bags, outside of what they had going on, she would have been good, and that happens to a lot of relationships.
Hmm.
And I look at, Sean and I, we've talked, plenty of times, even in my own marriage, I have, when people say keep stuff to yourself, that's that's a true statement, and we'll have another whole show on that too. Because as soon as you say something to someone that they don't agree with, they want you out. They're like, get out of there, get rid of him,
Yep.
divorce him or whatever. So in this fictional family with the girls, if she would have just held on to what she believed in for those
I
18
think it
years,
was
for
what,
18
seven
years.
months? 7 months or
Mm-hmm.
so later. I don't even think it was a year later that he got blessed with all that money. And I think that was a testament to
Exactly.
say, when it gets
Yes.
that bad, that's when you hang on. The end is where you
That's
hang on,
right.
because
That's
you
where you
usually
hang
you
on.
usually break right before you break through, right? And I think the enemies went
Yes.
through her sisters, took him, because girl, when he cried at the divorce, asking her, just please don't
I
do,
know.
even if she'd had him in a homeless shelter for months, when she called him
Yes.
for the final divorce, he said, would you please just not leave me? She did
Mm-hmm.
not want, the sister was still saying, you better sign those papers. Let me tell you something,
Right.
people. Make your
Right.
own decisions, because
Make
her
your own.
listening to her sisters cost her 300 million in the life she had, 18 years she had worked for. And listening to them in
Yes.
7 months, she lost it. But he
Mhm.
gave her $10 million. So I think
Yes,
he
he
was more
did.
than a man. I went to see this movie with a
Mhm.
few of my girlfriends, and they wanted to beat me by the end, because they are, oh, he did her wrong. I said, no, he did her
No.
just right. Because just like Harry said, you don't get but one time to do me bad. He had given her $10 million, which means I love you. I respected what you
Yeah.
did for me, but you'll never get to make me feel like that again. You'll never get to do that again.
Right.
So,
Right.
and Harris, did you see that movie?
I have 3 or 4 times.
Now, and then you see how her greed at the end cost her. It cost her dearly, because all you had to do was take your 10 million and walk away.
Mhm.
Because you know what you should have said? My mistake. That's what I would have said, Shannon. Because
Right.
I not just take my own from my ex husband? If he
Yep.
became a billionaire right now, I would be like, girl, you did that. And not that it mattered, because I'm with the man that I love. But see, she
Yeah.
did that and was left holding. Now she holding somebody else's back. She didn't want that man.
Holding somebody
And
else
then she
back.
was left
Right.
miserable
Mm.
because she didn't take care of her own business.
Yep. All right.
So yeah,
So
that's a
that
great
is,
family, girl.
thank you, thank you. So that is the fictional family I am feeling tonight. And once again, I want to thank our special guest, James Harris. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. We
Mm,
Thank you,
appreciate
brother.
you, and we welcome you back anytime.
You're so very welcome.
Thank you, brother. I
Uh,
surely
yeah.
appreciate your realness, and we'll have you back again.
Yes.
Appreciate being here.
Thank you, thank you. And to all our listeners around the globe, we look forward to spending this time with you every Thursday. And until next week, love you
Love
all.
you all.
I'm wifey and your baby mama.